Hey, good lovers. It's Katrina Rainsong from the Good Love Project, and today is day 9 of my 30 days of medibation. If this is your first time tuning in, medibation is a solo tantric or sacred sexuality practice. It combines meditation with masturbation, so using self love as a focal point for a meditative and a mindful practice. So you may, those of you that have been watching will remember that this week, within the 30 days, I'm working my way through the 7 primary chakras. So yesterday I did the root chakra. Today I did my focus on the sacral chakra. If you're unsure what the chakras are, check out the video for day 8, and you'll get caught up because I give kind of a rundown of what that all is. So today, I shouldn't say today. I should say this evening because I just finished my session a few minutes ago. Actually, it was another busy day, so another late night session. I'm kind of good with it being late night tonight, though. So I'm just like, man, you ever that feeling like after you make love, whether it's with yourself or with a partner, and it's such a release afterwards. You're just like, man, I'm gonna sleep so good. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now. I'm gonna sleep so good. So, my focus today was on exploring and moving energy through my second chakra, the sacral chakra. It's also in Sanskrit, it's called Svadhisthana, which means like the root of the self, or something to that effect. It's located in the sexual organs, so around, or also it's sometimes, the location is sometimes listed as within the sacrum, which is at the base of the spine, that triangular bone at the base of the spine. Sometimes it's listed as being within the sexual organs, and it is connected to sexuality, sensuality, creativity, your relationships. Its color is orange, and its bija, its seed sound, is vam. The element is water, and it's connected to taste and your tongue, and also to unconscious emotions and desires. So it was kind of hard for me to sink in at first. I don't know if it's because it was the end of the day or what. I was feeling a little locked down. I have like actual physical sacral issues, and I've been putting it off, but I need to go see my chiropractor to get my sacrum like kind of popped back in where it needs to be. So maybe that had something to do with it. That in session, in the moment, rather than getting frustrated, I just went into my ujjayi breath, slow and deep in and out through my nose, and went into the microcosmic orbit practice. And I started by bringing attention to my root chakra first, and then slowly moving my energy and my attention to the sacral chakra. And when I mentally touched it, I actually got choked up at first, and my eyes became wet, and I actually started crying. I actually found a lot of grief sitting in my womb and cervical space in my sacral chakra realm. Now, emotional release is a normal part of this kind of practice. It is something that can happen. So it's best to, when you're practicing, whether it's medibation or if you're in a love session with a partner, if feelings come up, if emotions come up, particularly ones that are kind of surprising, ones that you weren't expecting, or ones that are more difficult, like grief or anger or fear, it's best to sit with the emotion and don't try to judge it, or don't judge it, don't try to fix it, but rather just observe it. And so that's what I did. I observed my grief from the window of my second chakra, and I saw that it was connected to fear and inhibition and self-censorship. Times that I've been shamed in my life, or times that I held myself back or denied myself and cut off my own voice or my own expression from fear of being shamed. I used to be, this probably sounds weird because I've been, doing these videos talking about my self-love practice, and I perform and whatnot. This may sound kind of strange to folks that know me now, but I actually used to be a lot more uninhibited, particularly in my early 20s, in that I was able to just kind of just sink in and dive into things like, oh, that looks great, let's go there, whoosh. And after many years of being shut down by one thing or another, sometimes by family, sadly, largely by romantic partners, that flow, if we stick with the water theme, the easy flow has kind of been staunched over the years. And also just through my work as well. So working on getting that back, and this series is actually a part of that. So I held observance for my grief, and I just placed my hands on my low belly, and I just let the tears come, and holding like one hand on my belly and one hand over my vulva. So I was still continuing my practice. I had consent with myself and felt safe to continue, so still continued the medibation practice, and just kind of forgiving myself for ingesting all of that poison that had been handed to me over the years. And once the grief had passed, pleasure actually began in really just slow, gentle waves through my body. And I found that I was actually able to come to a place of arousal and even a place of very gentle orgasm without using my hands at all, but by just moving my body and rocking and breathing through that sacral energy. And I just really sunk into my own sensual space, and feeling the sensations and taking observation of the sounds that I was listening to, a Bija sound recording. I'll post that link in the comments. And also like the scents, the smells. I could smell the flame of the orange candle that I had lit, the sage that was burning, the scent of my own arousal. And I actually found myself suddenly awash with memory. As we know, your sense of smell can be a direct conduit to memory. And I was suddenly brought the memory of my first energetic orgasm. So I want to share that story with you, since I'm celebrating this space of being uninhibited and sharing. So I was still in high school, and I'd actually just begun my Tantra study. I didn't even know about energetic orgasms or energetic sex at this point. I was just starting to learn, and I was at a rave, completely sober. Let me make this clear. I had not taken ecstasy or mushrooms or anything. I was completely sober, just dancing the night away, super high on my own, just joy of life. And I'd been dancing for hours. And so I finally decided to take a bit of rest. And I sat down in a cuddle puddle. And I saw this beautiful, beautiful man, and he saw me. And he just looked me in the eye and just went, "My God, you are radiant." And just bam, within that moment, I felt just the most intense energy between us, between our eyes. And I was overcome with feelings of bliss and of love. And literally, I felt my body just shimmer away. And suddenly we just fell into this kiss that might have only been a few moments, or it could have been hours. It was just so deep, and everything else just kind of melted around us. And I felt it all running through me. And I felt it there, there in my sacral chakra, in my heart, so intense. And it was just amazing. At the beginning of my practice, I had mourned the loss of that uninhibited sensual being. And then, to be gifted with that rapturous memory was just so wonderful. So, yeah, really good practice. So it began with tears and ended with giggles, and I'm feeling so great. So I highly recommend working through all of the chakras. Sometimes, because our society is so sex negative and so pleasure negative, sometimes we can become overly focused on opening and cultivating the sacral chakra, and that can also be detrimental. So I will say proceed with caution and with moderation, because it is very powerful and it's volatile. Just as water nourishes, a tsunami can destroy. So all the hearts. Oh, thank you. So that was my practice tonight, working with the sacral chakra. We'll continue moving up the ladder, as it were, as we go through the next few days. And I know it was late, so thank you, those of you that joined in live. Feel free to drop questions in the comments. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button so you can be tuned in to when all of my videos upload. And as always, keep on good loving. See you next time.